The Osimhen champion... Well, sorry about that, everybody. I had a little bit going on there. The Osimhen news is hotting up. Complete balls up there on a Sunday morning, everybody. This is live. I love it. I'm excited. A little bit over the top, to be honest, because it is match day. It's derby day. But we have got a lot of news. Osimhen talks are on for Manchester United and Chelsea. Update on that after what we said yesterday with Fabrizio Romano, Ruben Amorim on transfers, and the impact of certain players emerging from Manchester United's squad and the impact that they are going to have on this summer's transfer window. Big part two from Ruben Amorim's press conference from Friday. We're going to go through the embargo version of that this morning as well. We're also talking about Manchester United academy players. No, not that 13-1 win yesterday, but 3 players from that side that are in Manchester United's matchday squad today, as Romano confirms another player that is definitely going to be in Manchester United's matchday squad. Of course, we'll have a little bit of talk of the Manchester derby. That's going to be later on as well. I moved into the show because, well, of course, it is a day that all Manchester fans in general actually come together, and that rivalry and everything that is the biggest day and the biggest game of the season for Manchester, really, in general. It's not the biggest game in the Premier League, but how important is it? There's a lot going on with both clubs right now off the pitch, which seems to be more of a focus. We will be on Football Talks right after this, talking about what City are doing right now, and Chelsea to that matter as well. So stick around for the whole show, and of course get your comments in live, and then we're going to go across to the Football Talks live show as well. Sorry for that mishap of a start there. Got myself all confuddled and mixed up with all the technology and everything going on, but look, we love live content, and sometimes well, let's just say we get a little bit too excited and ahead of ourselves. And that's me this morning anyway. But we have plenty to talk about, getting into serious matters. I did touch on Victor Osimhen last night, and I want all of your comments in on this. So get into the live chat as well. And obviously, if you're playing catch-up later on, get your comments in on this. So just to keep you up to date, if you wasn't watching last night, we gave you the update from Fabrizio Romano himself regarding Victor Osimhen and the situation. And now he said last night that Manchester United are going to be in a position where they could possibly get Victor Osimhen cheaper than the release clause. That's 63 million. This is because Napoli are desperate to not sell to another Italian club. Now, Victor Osimhen apparently has turned down Juventus, but Napoli are aware of more offers coming in and a possibility that he could still go to another Italian club this summer. So, what is happening then? Giovanni Manor, the sporting director, remember him? Yes, from talks between Manchester United and Napoli in January. We covered all of that. He's the sporting director of Napoli. Apparently, he is in London. Now, obviously, Manchester United do have offices in London. He is open to talks with Chelsea and Manchester United to try and find a reasonable fee and an agreeable fee for Victor Osimhen. Now, you would have thought release clause and just pay it. Not the case. Now, the release clause brings other Italian clubs into it, and there isn't much that Napoli can do. The player will not go back to Napoli. Conte doesn't want him. He doesn't want to go. The club don't want him. They have an asset on their hands that they have to sell this summer, and they don't want to sell to a rival who are in a good position to take him, obviously, already. He's not being uprooted that much, and obviously, he understands way of life over there in Italy, and he's comfortable. Look, it has been reported that he doesn't want to stay in Italy as well. I'll make that very clear right now, but we're putting all of these reports into one and trying to make something out of it. But what we are hearing is what Romano said last night in terms of Napoli are willing to go lower just to sell him to a Premier League club. They know that they could probably get money from the Saudi Pro League as well in this, and I'm sure that them talks will come along the lines as well. But really, can you see Osimhen at 26 going to the Saudi Pro League? I made that call the other day, and I did a show on that about him possibly considering it, and I didn't like it. I didn't. Look, I don't know what's been said, and I don't know what he feels right now. We're only reading off reports. I still stand by that, and I don't think that United should be going for a player that is chasing the money necessarily, but we are just reading reports. And now more reports are coming out. And it comes to a point where you look at everything that's come out and you try and judge which one's more relevant, which one is more trustworthy. And Romano obviously is someone that we would trust above everybody else. Him and Ornstein are top dogs. And what Romano said last night kind of leads into the stories that came out early this morning about Napoli representatives Giovanni Manna, the sporting director, being in London to negotiate a different deal for 2 Premier League clubs. Now, we heard that Arsenal were also interested in Osimhen, but it looks like their target is Victor Gyökeres or Benjamin Sesko. They're their 2 top strikers. City are not going for one. Liverpool have still got to deal with their situation. So we heard yesterday that an option was there and Napoli were willing to do a deal if indeed somebody would come to the table in June when the new transfer window opens, and it's new because it's opening on June the 1st. If a deal can be done in June time, then somebody could get Victor Osimhen a bit cheaper than that release clause. Now that just falls right into Manchester United's hands because they can afford him. We know that the Athletic have run a report saying that United can afford Victor Osimhen. They can afford his wages. They have to move things around. And I think it comes down to the importance of having the right player in. Maybe one of them big players, one of the 2 that Ruben Amorim is talking about. He has to be experienced in that number 9 role because United have failed there before. We also brought on top of that the story that Liam Delap is also in talks with Chelsea and wants European football next season. Now, Victor Osimhen has made it clear by several reports and different sources saying he isn't that concerned about playing Champions League or European football. This is an open book now for Manchester United to go in and write down some form of offer and deal and make something happen with Napoli. They're willing to come down in price. They want to sell to the Premier League. Osimhen isn't too concerned about European football. All of this put together makes it doable for United, and it's moving along quicker. First week in April, and transfers are being talked about because when that window opens on June 1st, one of Chelsea or Manchester United could be taking Victor Osimhen straight away, and that's why the deal is being done now. Chelsea want him in, or a striker in, because of the Club World Cup and the riches that brings. Over 100 million prize money. So Chelsea have to move quick when the window opens as well. There is another report on Chelsea right now which might favour Manchester United also in this situation that I'm going to be talking about on Football Talks right after this. And situations with financial fair play and PSR. Yes, you probably heard a bit of it regarding the women's football team and how UEFA have kiboshed it. So we'll talk about that on Football Talks. But again, everything that's starting to come about and being reported is all in favour of Manchester United right now. And it does look like we are in a position where we do hold all of the cards. And what we're talking about now is, for me personally, the best chance that we've had to bring in the best striker on the market in how many years? Like, honestly, the last time was Robin van Persie. We're talking over a decade ago to bring a player in who is actually in his prime into Manchester United with probably a few more years in the tank past it. And Robin van Persie was going into his late 20s at that time. I think he was 29. So to get someone like Osimhen at 26, yes, it seems exciting and it's great news for Manchester United. Still a million miles away and some from actually getting completed and done this deal, and there's nothing set in stone or concrete yet. We have Chelsea to fight against, and this is the problem. Chelsea need a striker. And that's what my only concern is right now. If Chelsea are in for him, you know what they're going to do. You know how they work. We have to hope that Victor Osimhen can be sold this project and this plan now by Manchester United. We have to hope that he is that United fan that has been reported or seen with United shirts with Odion Igalo and all of that, and it's clutching at straws. It completely is. For a United fan, I know. We're crap. We're not competing in any top competition. We haven't got a lot of money, apparently. Actually, on that quickly, before I forget, Kieran Maguire, football finance expert, has completely rubbished the fact that Manchester United are going bankrupt or asking and haven't got any money. I may talk about that in another show, but that is absolutely eye-opening on that one, on a video that he has done. I may bring that up another time, but just so you know, quickly on that, there is money there for Manchester United to spend. And what Ineos are doing are counteracting the misuse of Manchester United's finances and fortunes and are trying to get things back in line again. But money is there. And that's come from Kieran Maguire, who is top dog when it comes to football finance. So that, again, puts you in a position right now where you know that United can afford Osimhen. It's whether or not they want to commit to a player that probably hasn't got as longevity as other players. But if you're not going to sell Rasmus Højlund, if you've got Chido Obi coming through, you've got like the likes of Victor Musa, who scored a double hat-trick yesterday, an abundance of talent. You could add Bayern Kerry to that as well. And other players coming through Man United's academy. We have got a conveyor belt there of forwards that can get better over time. Well, Victor Osimhen is still in his prime for the next 5 years. So it makes complete sense for Manchester United to go all in on a top target, make a statement, we're still here, we're still relevant, and get Victor Osimhen through the door. They're your updates on Osimhen and where Manchester United are actually at right now. And obviously, you can make of this what you want. You can sort of say, well, yeah, it's still smoke, there's no fire, and nothing is done yet. I get that, but everything that's now moving in line with this, like I said, the opening of the window quicker, Chelsea being involved, Napoli needing to sell quickly before Victor Osimhen drags out another deal. Like, let's get the bare bones straight. Like we said last night, Victor Osimhen is going to do no favours at all to Napoli. Napoli don't want him. Conte doesn't want him. The club don't want him anywhere near, but they do not want to give him to a rival. Now, Juventus have fallen away in the title race, and it's not worked out well for Motta at all for them this season. And this would be seen as Napoli, who are title challenging, enhancing a team that is going to be challenging them next season again by giving them one of their players. So they want to sell to a Premier League club or another country, obviously. They will not allow this deal to drag out through the whole transfer window again. Get a deal done quickly. They are going to lose a little bit of money on their actual release clause and what they want for him, but this is the situation as we are. They cannot loan him out because it's the last year of his contract, and if they don't sell him this summer, he leaves on a free the next summer and will have completely rinsed Napoli. And let's be honest, the player isn't going to hang around at Napoli not being able to be loaned out because he's in the last year of his deal and do nothing, because Conte will not play him. And you'll have one of the best strikers in the world right now actually sat there doing nothing. It works for no parties, and everything has to happen very, very quickly in this window for Napoli's side of things. And that's why they're in London in April, 2 months before the window opens up near enough, trying to get a deal already in place, because as soon as that window opens on June 1st, the scramble begins, and especially them big teams that are in the Club World Cup. So United have to go into this and really outbid Chelsea, make this deal and make this offer stand out to Victor Osimhen and Napoli and get this deal done. How they do it, I don't know. But like I said a minute ago, there could be an advantage to Manchester United in this situation with what's happening with Chelsea right now. And I'll go into that on Football Talk straight after this show, so stick around for that. But first of all, let's get in your comments. How are you feeling, everybody? Hope you're doing good. Hope everybody is upbeat and looking forward to the Manchester derby today. I know I am. It's going to be one of them end of season sort of springtime-ish games where sometimes they just peter out into nothing. Sometimes they just bring the unknown. You know what I mean by that. Both teams, well, City are chasing top 4 Champions League. United are chasing mediocrity. Is this probably the worst derby in terms of off the field and what's at stake that they've been over the last 10 years? 100% yes, it is. It really is. But it's a derby, and it doesn't matter. It is going to be one of them games. Please get a video on the like, everybody, as well. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well, so you can get in the live chat. And let's get into some of these comments. MB Creator, Osimhen was made for United, but we have to learn from previous mistakes and sell Rasmus to fund the lap in addition. This summer must be brutal. Sell Nacho, Bruno, Rasmus, etc. City can't get Wirtz. Talking about that as well on Football Talks as well after this video. We need midfielders. Break the bank on 2 new number 10s. Striker will have to wait. No, completely and utterly disagree with that. Maniac, but I understand we need a 10. No, we've got Ahmad, we've got Mount. Mount's not being sold. We have got players there. If Garnacho wants to stay, he can be there as well. You've got Xerxes. There is one position we're missing out of all of this, and it's a number 9. Priority number 1. I'm sorry. We need a striker. Information missing. Chelsea are in the Club World Cup, so transfer window opens before the normal one does. Information missing. I'm not sure. I think I just said that, actually. But Ant says with a super chat, feel Ghana is the pivot on this deal. Now, to add to that, yes, Garnacho and Romano said this last night as well, that there is still communication between United and Napoli, and there is still interest in Garnacho. Look, Kvaratskhelia hasn't been properly replaced, and they do need to bring somebody else in. United do hold cards in the fact that Chelsea have got issues off the pitch. Manchester United, I feel, have got a player that Napoli still want. And, of course, if they can make some deal happen between Garnacho and Osimhen, whether it is a straight swap, whether it is money exchanged alongside it, I think Napoli being able to do business quickly in bringing a player in and getting rid of a problem in Osimhen, I think that would actually appeal to them. And we could see a situation where Manchester United actually have a card in this and save themselves a lot of money in forking out on Victor Osimhen by letting Garnacho go the other way. And then maybe that money could be spent on that 10, that 8, that right wing back. And that's where I think United are looking at this and going, opportunity. And like the comment says there, MB, the window has to be absolutely brutal when it comes to making decisions. And there is going to be some players that are just used as make weight or just sent out because we haven't got time. Ruben Amorim's press conference and everything that he's been talking about over the last 2 days have pretty much led us down that path of knowing that this summer is going to be cutthroat. And there is a lot of changes coming at Manchester United. We also badly need a box-to-box 8 so badly. Yeah, we do need a ball-carrying midfielder in United side. We need to think past Bruno Fernandes in a few years. And it's time to start making plans now. Because Bruno's not getting any younger. Bruno's not going anywhere this summer. Before anybody thinks he is, he's not. I think I've made that very, very clear in all of the reports that have come out. So we need to think past that. But we do need to think a few years down the line. Bruno and another ball-carrying number 8 is definitely where United need to be investing a lot of money. I look at it and I go, right, okay, if you bring in a number 9, Garnacho's gone, but you've got Ahmad, you bring in another 10. So realistically there, Garnacho is gone, and I'm not saying that I want Garnacho gone. He could stay and still be a Man United squad player. But in the case of Osimhen, just humour me on this right now, but if he goes, Osimhen comes in, you bring in a Trincao. Because you saved money by getting rid of Garnacho and bringing Osimhen in. Osimhen and Trincao. Wow, okay. Now we're moving somewhere. You've got Ahmad and Trincao in the number 10s. You've also got Xerxes there. You've got Mason Mount there. You've got an abundance of cover. Osimhen up front with Højlund and Chido behind him. Not looking too bad. All of a sudden, you've not really spent much of your budget and you've got 2 quality players in that are starting in that 11 every single week and give you the intensity and work rate and extra characteristics and quality that Ruben Amorim needs to make this system work. Then you move into the wing-back and 8 area where I feel the Rashford, the Antony, the Sancho and everybody else that's been moved out that's saving us a fortune on wages, that money goes into. And that has to be an absolute gem. But I think that's going to be a younger gem type of player to work with Bruno and integrate in through time. It's not a necessity as much as the 10s and 8s and right wing-back, I don't think, right now. And obviously, you've got the goalkeeping situation. And that, I think, has to be considered in all of this as well. And I think that United will be bringing in another goalkeeper. Well, let's be honest. We are bringing one in anyway because we're bringing Vitek back from loan. I think Vitek is going to have a big say on this transfer window. Let's not forget, you've got Bainde, who is surplus, who United could make big profit on. And big profits around about 10 million. Because I think Bainde could be sold for 15 million easily. And that would give Manchester United a big chunk of profit. And United don't usually make 10 million off a deal that's only been there 2 years, a player that's been at the club 2 years that hardly featured or played. There is a chance to make decent money. And Bainde will be more profitable to United in selling him than Andre Onana will, with what we've got on his contract and how much we paid for him. But let's not forget, you could bring Vitek back who could step in, or you could sell Vitek and make 100% profit off him because he's a homegrown player. Now, people haven't thought about this either because Vitek now, playing well over in Austria and doing well there, could turn into be a 15, 20 million pound goalkeeper himself. Now, you decide whether you want to keep him and put him in as number 1 and deal with Andre Onana, or you could sell him for that 100% profit. And that, I think, is where United have got room to manoeuvre and options in this window. I wouldn't sell Vitek. I would keep him, and I would bench Andre Onana. If Bayindir is being sold, that is. We cannot keep them three keepers at United. One of them, Vitek, Bayindir, or Onana, 100% has to go. And there is room and finance and profit in both Bayindir and Vitek more than Onana, which puts the fear of death into me, because that means that Onana stays. And, oh God, you know how I feel about that one. But you can see what United's possibilities are. And I feel one of the other two goalkeepers, Garnacho, will also be sold. Someone like this who we don't expect. It could be anyone. We talked about Kobbie Mainoo last night, looking pretty much set to sign this new deal right now. If you haven't watched that video back, go back and catch up on that. But it looks like the deal is getting closer with contract talks between United and Mainoo's reps. So that's looking good. The only reason Garnacho's in the conversation at all today, and although some people feel like I've got this issue against Garnacho, I haven't. I would love him to be part of United squad next season. But I'm being honest and real with what's happening right now. And this, I think, is opening up for Manchester United to do business. And when we're talking about an important summer and what needs to happen, I feel like you have to look at Garnacho, you have to look at Bayindir, Vitek, all of these players, selling Rashford, getting rid of Anthony at decent money. Sancho is going to be profit for United as well. All of this coming into one has to be where Manchester United's priority is. But if Garnacho saves us a massive amount of money on bringing in a number 9 like Victor Osimhen, then that deal has to happen. It does, because the 9 has to be priority. And Garnacho is not going to be a first team starter at Manchester United next season. He will start the odd game, but he's not a nailed on starting 11 player. He's behind Ahmad. He's going to be behind Mason Mount. He's going to be possibly behind Joshua Zirkzee. And if we bring in another 10 like we reported there, then he's going to be ahead of him as well, because that's a Ruben player. And you know I'm being real with this. And it sounds like we're trying to dig Garnacho out here. But Ruben has been open and said that Garnacho's improving, and he's found something with him on the right-hand side. So there is a chance he could still stay. And United could get a cheaper deal for Osimhen, and Garnacho stays in 10 alongside Mount and Ahmad. And he brings in the right wing-back, saves himself a bit of money because they're cheaper, maybe in a Roger Fernandez. And then all of a sudden you're looking at Mount, Garnacho, Ahmad, Zirkzee, and you've got 4. And you could possibly bring in some of Manchester United's academy players as well in time and integrate them in and save yourself money on a 10. Look, all of the options are there. I've just gone through my full-on championship manager mode there to try and break everything down. But it all starts, and the whole summer is all built around the Victor Osimhen yes or no situation. Because then United have to really dig deep and find something. Because we're hearing that, like I said, Liam Delap is not keen on not playing European football next season. There's a lot of different situations and permutations that could happen in this actual transfer window. But it starts with this Osimhen deal. A simple yes or no triggers everything else into action. And that's where I want to start with Osimhen today, because that, I think, is key because of everything that's changing in the transfer environment right now. What's happening at Chelsea, the window opening earlier, the Club World Cup, Man United's finances, Juventus wanting Osimhen, Napoli not wanting to sell to another Italian club and therefore going cheaper on the release clause of 63 million for Osimhen to try and get him out of the door because they can't loan him out in the last year of his contract. Bang, 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 everything all into one. That's the cooker and the volcano waiting to erupt to kickstart this transfer window, I feel. And everything does get going after we get the announcement of Osimhen, one way or the other. Manny with the super chat. Thank you, mates. The spine is key. Centre-back, centre-mid, central defensive midfielder, right wing-back before striker or goalkeeper. Vitek can be our number 1. But for the eventuality, Garner, Bayindir and Rashford have to go. So the spine is key. Centre-back, centre-mid and CDM and right wing-back before striker or goalkeeper. I'm sorry, mate. Thanks for the super chat, man. Not a chance. It's a number 9, mate. I'm sorry, number 9. I don't understand how people think that number 9 is not important right now. We have no experience in that position where we do elsewhere. Now, you can talk about other areas of the pitch not being that good, but we have got experience. Centre-back, forget it. Man United are stacked. Centre midfielder, I agree, but it's not ahead of the centre-forward. We have experience in centre midfield. Argue the quality all you want, yes, but in terms of transfer priority, it is a striker. You need goals. Bruno Sexuals. Oh, MB's going in on it here. He's just an average player. Not really, mate. He really isn't, is he? You cannot say he's a normal average player. That is ridiculous. And the human, he's not a Messi or Ronaldo, so kindly chill. No one is abusing your king. It's only football talk. Look, I understand. He isn't an average player. And that there, MB, is why people will probably have a go at you back. I understand what you're saying, and everyone's got an opinion on Bruno Fernandes, but he's not average. He's anything but average. And that I will come back on and argue back against. But, look, Bruno will be gone in a couple of years. Nobody has to worry. If he keeps doing what he's doing now, that's fine. And no one's got an issue. He's getting better. I think he's getting better under Ruben Amorim. I think his game is evolving under him. And I think he's got more control over him than any other manager has at Manchester United. I'm not bothered. Bruno Fernandes, retire at Manchester United. We don't need to sell him. Let his contract run down. Do whatever. We might even be able to get some money for him in a couple of years still. Even at the age of, 31, 32. Bruno, we need to look past, yes. But Bruno right now, he's everything about United and crucial to this team. Block in the chat. Oh, I can't believe you can't make it today, mate. Gutted about that. I can't make the game today, so 2 tickets are free to mods and members. You'll need to be a United member so I can transfer. Sorry for reposting again. Don't want anyone to miss out. Really good seats. So yes, anybody who does know Block and wants to go to the Manchester Derby today, get onto that as well. Good seats that he has got there, and an opportunity for you to be there. So, yes, you have to be a member as well. Thanks for that, Block, mate. Absolutely love that. Gutted we can't meet up and have that drink now. I know we was organising it, but another time. But maybe the Wolves or West Ham game will catch up, mate. But thanks again for offering that out to anybody as well. Okay, let's go on to what Ruben Amorim said in that press conference as well. And he was talking about the impact of players emerging and the transfer window and how it could evolve around what's happening. So he says we've been unlucky with the injuries, but in being unlucky, we uncover different things, as in different players. Garnacho can play on the right. Kind of contradictory in putting him out on the left in the second half against Forest when he is playing so much better on the right-hand side, but still, he's right. And Garnacho on the right-hand side has been a lot better than the left-hand side. And we all know this. We do. And it's right for him to actually come out and say that Garnacho has obviously filled a void there, but found not so much his calling, he's just given another option. And for him, I think he needs to try and nail down that position. I think that is where Garnacho belongs. I think it suits him better on the right-hand side, 10. But then you've got Ahmad, Mainu, Xerxes, Mount, and all of these players coming in to compete for it. And are they all better than Garnacho in that role? Yes. That's just being honest, and you know that that's right. Maybe you could argue Mainu, but I think Mainu could actually take Garnacho's place if he's sold. I think he could be the other player. Because if United could go out and buy a 10, still have Mainu. Mainu can interchange between the 8 and the 10 role. I don't like him in 8, but there will be some form of hybrid role there. But Garnacho finding his feet on the right, and what Ruben said there definitely rings true, because he also talks about how the transfer window may be impacted this summer in the centre-back position because of the emergence of Aiden Heaven. And that, I think, is very important on this, because we've all looked at this and thought, right, okay, Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof, let's be honest, they've not really offered us anything this season. And them 2 players leaving United, 2 experienced players, yes, but we're not going to miss them. Well, are we? We're not. So really, when you look at the centre-back situation, you know that Nusa Mazraoui is going to drop into centre-back. There's one. You've got De Ligt. You've kept Maguire. Still might be sold. We don't know. If Maguire goes, another centre-back will come in. But if Maguire stays, then United won't buy a centre-back this summer, I don't think, unless it's a young player that we don't know about, that we've spoken about before, like a 17-year-old coming through the ranks of some academy. And like what Ruben said, you need to actually look at these younger players that are running out of contracts at other clubs that can't find a place and try and use them and bring them into United. That might happen. But he talked about Aiden Heaven coming through, and that now, looking at the transfer window, may change things, because he probably didn't expect Heaven to be as good as what he was. But he has gone in and he has taken to it instantly and looks like a full-blown professional. Looks like a player that's been there for years. And I think everybody's been massively impressed with Aiden Heaven. At 18 to come in with no first-team experience. Obviously, we're gutted about the injury, but I think that's right. And what Ruben Amorim is saying there, I think everybody can look at that and go, yeah, we don't need to go out and buy another centre-back because we've got Aiden Heaven. You've got Yoro, you've got Heaven, you've got De Ligt, you've got Maguire, you've got Mazraoui, and then Leach comes back at some point next season as well. There's 6 centre-backs. And I know we're not going to be able to sell Luke Shaw, and he could maybe just roll up in any of these games next season because no one's going to buy Shaw, let's be honest. And you could add that as a 7th centre-back. Plus Kakonki coming through. 8? Do we need any more? We have 3 teenage centre-backs in there and an absolute raft of experience at centre-back. Do you really think that Manchester United's priorities should be centre-back going into this transfer window? Seriously, no. We don't need any more. Even with losing Lindelof and Evans, we're actually stacked in that area. So I don't see Manchester United doing it. But what Ruben said there, I think, is exactly what everybody needs to be looking at. And I think a few people are, because we don't need to be spending money on a centre-back when that can be used in other areas of the pitch that we desperately need money spent on. And that is the areas that we spoke about at the top of this show. That striker, the 10, the 8, right wing back maybe. But obviously we've got Mantato, who is going to start featuring in Manchester United's first team very, very soon. It's going to be an eye opener the pre-season anyway in terms of how many academy players break in, because we've got a few knocking on the door, as we've said before. Yesterday's win over Leeds, I mean, that was just a freak game, was it not? But still, it kind of puts it into focus. Like, there are going to be players coming through very, very soon that I feel will be featuring in Manchester United's first team. And this, I think, is why the transfer window is going to be all based around one area. And that, I think, has to be the striker. That's the number one. It's all working out as to be in the number one situation and clear issue at Manchester United. Striker, striker, striker. Simple as. And I think that's what will happen. And we'll see anyway. But everything I've said about Osimhen, I think, is dead true. And I think that's why we're all talking about the striker situation at United right now and the desperate need for goals. I don't think centre-back is key. But also in this as well, Romano has come out with a tweet this morning and said that Godwill Kakonki is in Manchester United's first team squad for the Manchester derby. So that clearly shows that we are going to be missing Matthijs de Ligt today. We talked last night about de Ligt being injured. That ankle injury picked up at Nottingham Forest hasn't recovered in time. It's a bit too soon for him, and he will not play today in the Manchester derby. He's not going to be rushed ahead of the Lyon game on Thursday night, which is a bigger game. But Godwill Kakonke is in Manchester United's matchday squad alongside Harry Amas and Chido Obi as well. So you got an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 17-year-old in Manchester United's matchday squad today, and none of them featured in that under-18s game yesterday. How mental is that? You're beating Leeds 13-1, and 3 of your big players are not even in the squad. Crazy. And that's how good that under-18s team actually is at United. But Godwill Kakonke, according to Fabrizio, is in the matchday squad for Manchester United today and will be replacing, probably in terms of squad number, Matthijs de Ligt. And that pretty much confirms it, doesn't it, really? If you bring in Kakonke in, de Ligt's definitely out, which is a shame because he has been one of our most reliable and consistent defenders of the season, and probably up there for player of the season for me right now, Matthijs de Ligt. But the good news on that is as well, quickly, and if you weren't watching last night, we did update everybody on the de Ligt situation, was that it's not that serious and he's just not being risked. He could indeed play and was willing to take a painkilling injection to play, but United are prioritising. We don't need to rush him in for a derby that really, yes, is important to the fans. In the bigger picture on this season is not that important for Manchester United now. Thursday night against Lyon is huge for United, so no need to bring in Matthijs de Ligt for a game where it could make things worse and really jeopardise the end of his season. That, I think, is where United are at, and that's actually sensible sensible decisions for me. And I do believe that God will make his mark, probably at some point. Mantato will. I don't know about Amas. Obviously, we know about Chido already. He has got a lot to learn in terms of first-team striker positions, but taking that straight back, who is better to learn off in that area than an absolute quality outfit in Victor Osimhen? I think has to be the priority for United going in to this transfer window, 100%. And with a super chat, not with a super chat, so just the comment says, offer them 60 mil for Osimhen, providing they give us 45 for Ghana. That's 90 mil in terms of PSR. That gives us 30 mil surplus to play with. Ant's going down the whole PSR financial fair play route on this one here. Did his ankle in the last game? Yes, he did block. He's probably talking to someone else there. That Muppet rises. Next season is pivotal for Leacher and whether he can stay injury-free. Otherwise, his future is over at United. We can't afford to carry players anymore. Nope, he will be into the 4th year of his contract as well. And United will need to see, I think, consistency. Or he's another player I think will be sold and replaced. I don't think the new structure is in for waiting around and messing around anymore. And let's be clear, like Leacher is one of them players that we would make profit on. He's on affordable wages for somebody else. He's at the right age. And next season, I think you're right, Dark Muppet rises, because he's not going to be sold this summer because he's going to be injured. I think there was probably a chance that Leacher was being looked at by United as one of them players that could be sold to make money. With the emergence of Kukonki and Heaven coming through, I think it might be an option, but obviously not this transfer window because I don't think he's even going to be recovered in time for the start of next season. So we're looking at Leacher there being a big season for him. It's dead right. It's a good comment, actually, that one. De Ligt has been unfairly criticised all season. He's been great. I don't even think he's been criticised, to be honest. I've not seen that much. There may be the odd comment here and there about De Ligt, but he definitely has been up there with one of our best performers of the season by a mile. He must not be knocked out by Leon. We must not be knocked out by Leon. Bilbao, I would understand, but Leon isn't. Leon, it's unforgivable if we do lose to them. Look, it's still going to be a tough game for United against Leon. Anyone who gets to the last 8 obviously has got something about them, and I do think that Leon will cause a threat for Manchester United, 100%. But do talk to me in the comment section about Kukonki getting back in the matchday squad as well. Patriots just renewed his membership. Thank you, my friend. Morning, mate. How confident are you for today and Leon? I feel reasonably confident about today. Game could go either way. Wouldn't be surprised if United get battered. Wouldn't be surprised if United beat City and do the double over him. I really wouldn't. Leon, really, that's the one that I'm looking forward to. Not as in, like, can't wait, but I'm looking ahead to that game probably more. I mean, today will take care of itself. It's a Manchester derby and everybody's going to be excited. The atmosphere will be electric. And there is obviously the sit-in as well afterwards with the fans. So it is going to be a big day for United today. But Lyon on Thursday, I think United can hold their own. I think draw over in France, and then United win the following Thursday, and we go through to the semi, and it will be against Bilbao because they'll batter Rangers. There's no chance that Rangers stand a chance against them, so it's going to be Bilbao in the semi-final. I think we can take Lyon, I really do. I'm confident that we've got it in us. Leacher is Shaw 2.0 just because he performed well without injury. Shaw also, we can sell Leacher and get a lot of money, maximum 50 million. Madrid can take him, says MUFC Forever. Raw's in. Don't forget to leave a like if you have not already. It helps more people discover the channel. It does. Thank you for that, mate. Andrew says, yes, we have to hope Martinez overcomes his injury problems next season. Lovely him as a player. I'll probably love him as a player, he's supposed to say there. But it is lovely, mate, isn't it? Anno says, I have definitely talked to people who've been going in on De Ligt for his passing a lot. Same people who go in on Agate, Gemma left. Look, you can't please some people, can you? I haven't heard as much on De Ligt as I have probably, Garnacho, Bruno, players like this. But these players, they're in United for the first time. They've come into United and have been part of an absolute melee of a season. And it's just been utter chaos at Manchester United this season. Changing of coaches, players leaving, player fallout, disciplines. It's been madness. And these new players coming in have stood out at United. I can't wait for a settled structure to be in place and see what these players can really do, because they have shown real leadership and mentality monster qualities that this team has been lacking for years. And I really do feel sorry for them, because they have really provided for Manchester United this season. Hey Adam, what does Bruno and Trincao in a United shirt next season look like for you? For me, I see Ahmad and Trincao in 10s and Bruno in that 6-8 role behind him. And for me, that gives me excitement, mate. You add an Osimhen in there as well. Oh, seriously. Man, I would love that, buddy. I really would. At 19 likes away from 200 live on the show. Thank you, everyone. Please get them likes up. Make sure you have subscribed. A lot of you have done already. Thank you, everyone, for all of your support. We're on the road to 80k. That's our next subscriber count target, everyone. Let's try and get as close to that as we can before the end of the season. That would be great. So please do hit that subscribe button, everybody, as well. Let's see what else we've got in the comments section here. Thank you for all your comments as well today. Let's see what we've got. Charles in there says, Xerxes, Eriksen and Casemiro have lost the ball more than De Ligt. I have been disappointed with Eriksen recently. Eriksen's checked out, I feel. Credit to him. He's got his 100th appearance for Manchester United. Thank you. You've been a great free signing for Manchester United. And we will wish him well in the future, wherever he goes. But right now, he's a player that I don't think is helping United at all. He's having the odd little moment here and there, but again, I do agree. I have been a little bit disappointed in Christian Eriksen over the last few weeks. He hasn't really contributed that much to Manchester United. And that experience, I thought, would have been key in the running for United, but nope. Sadly not. Look, I will be back around about 12:30 today with the warm-up video as well, looking ahead to the derby. So we're going to go into the team, we're going to go into everything before the derby and what might come today, this afternoon. Getting nervous probably by that time about it. I'm trying to be calm right now. But let's see. Can the Reds do it today? It's a big day for United today, on and off the pitch. Adam, can United buy players early, then sell players after to balance the books? As in, buy that player, and then sell him? I don't think that's doable. No, definitely. Is that what you mean? As in, all right, I get it. So you buy players now, and then sell players later. United can do, yes, because the PSI year would have started afresh. So we could, but it's a risk. And it's if they're confident they can sell the players. So get them players in June, and you've got the rest of the window then to actually try and navigate through and sell and make as much money back as possible. Yeah, you can do that. And we have got the funds to do that as well. Maguire has actually upped his game recently. I was impressed. Collier should be starting much more for me as well. You got Collier to add to the situation. He's another squad player there for Manchester United. Let's see what else we've got in here. Don't get it twisted. Bruno is a baller. It's just the player around. It's just the players around him. We lift our game versus City. We always do, says Charles. I think you're right, mate. I think we will get that today. Thank you, by the way, everybody. Over 200 live likes. Absolutely buzzing with that. Thank you, everyone. I am going to be moving across to football talks in just a moment's time. You will be redirected by YouTube across to that, where we're talking a little bit more about the situation with Chelsea, with Manchester City's hunt to replace Kevin De Bruyne as well. Now, the Chelsea situation does involve the Osimhen deal as well, so you want to listen to that and what's happening with them. So make sure that you do jump across to the next live show as well, which we're starting in just a moment's time. But before we go, I just want to say a massive thank you again, all the contributors, new subscribers as well on the show. Thank you, everybody. We got over 200 live likes in there, and that is a great way to start Manchester Derby Day. I will see you over on Football Talks in just a moment's time. Again, mods and members in the chat for helping out. Thank you. I'll see you over there on the other show in just a moment's time. It's Derby.